Check out Tendril Temple by TookaGD, a puzzle level where you start out with firing a block at the ceiling. Upon impact, a vine will extend all the way down. However, since you only have a single block, you'll have to fire it again to recover it. The next few rooms introduce these barriers that are only active when the vine block isn't in your inventory, the fact that vines can grow past spikes, and this fog that the block you fire can't pass through, whereas the vine can. After getting accustomed to these obstacles, the level then throws in crumbling blocks that break upon a vine impact, making for some tough puzzles near the end. Hallways Watching by Parrett, a level inspired by Roblox doors, was recently raided. In it, you have to outrun the Wall of Nightmares while accounting for several monsters who force you to slow down. Every once in a while, you'll have to move back to the left to scare off paranoia. Spine Chill blends into the background, and upon touching it, the entire level becomes slippery. When it stops raining, making too much noise will alert Bloodfire. In addition, you'll need to carefully observe the moon cycle in the background, as rushing past the wrong moon phase will make the death wall move faster. However, there is a quartet of torches that will grant you temporary invincibility to a few of these monsters if you light them in the order they go out. Crerro has hosted his second blind race competition, where 4 top players are pitted against each other in a level they've never seen before. This time, the participants were Mikoshi, Shroomy, Evitz, and RevNotRuv. The first stage was a vertical tree section with tons of moving platforms. RevNotRuv took an early lead, being the first to climb up the tree and make it to the subsequent jetpack section. Being a victor of the current top 1 jetpack level, I Loved You, he made quick work of the next few checkpoints, though Mikoshi wasn't too far behind. After the jetpack section was some low-gravity cube and ball gameplay, which was also the longest and hardest part of the level. This drop-down would prove especially difficult, which in turn gave the other competitors the chance to catch up. However, at this point, Shroomy was nowhere to be seen as his screen was paused from the very beginning, and we thought he left for lunch. However, suddenly out of nowhere, his screen flickered back on and revealed he was also in the same section as Rev. His livestream continued to bug out like this for the rest of the event. With now 3 players on the low-gravity section, it was still anybody's game. Rev once again took the lead after passing it and entered the dungeon. The dungeon is a maze of several colored keys and multi-activate checkpoints, forcing the players to assess the risk-reward of backtracking to a checkpoint or just going for the next key. Rev made quick work of this though, dying very few times to the tricks of the dungeon. Rev was now in the final section, a precision challenge where the wind was constantly pushing him forward. This was a breeze for him though, as he managed to reach the end and pull out the sword from the stone, winning the second TPL blind race competition in only 30 minutes. Shroomy finished second, trapped in the dungeon, Mikoshi finished third, still doing some low-gravity gaming, and finally Evitz was in last place, failing to fly past the jetpack section. GG's to all the players, and huge props to Crerro for putting on another crazy fun event. LunarLobster has reached day 100 of his series, where he only plays 1 room maximum of top 10,000 cheese per day. His thoughts on the level so far was that the cheese drink rooms were very interesting, and cheese 9903 had a rough timing off of these pink pads. Some quick notable completions this week include hatetag beating the former top 1 Null Deathless and the 10-second top 6 PLS 3 times in 1 day. Pepesito also became a top 50 player for the very first time after a clear on the double jump extreme vortex. Macloris became first victor of the speedrun level Laith by Perpori, which has an especially hard jetpack at the start as it has several tight gaps, and this dash orb, where due to its awkward position where it's peeking right out above the spikes, is easy to overshoot and lose too much time on. There's also this tight black orb timing right under a ceiling of mini spikes that you press to get past another boatload of spikes. The level also transitions between several flashy effects, such as the sandstorm, a focus section where the camera zooms before a couple of upward slanted straight flies, and a fog effect that partially obscures your vision. Ungafo has reached the ending of Diamonds for Dashers, where by pressing his jump button too hard, his keyboard registered it as a double click and subsequently ended his run after last input. This happened to him twice.
What the click? Me dio doble click.
And after 18 other ending deaths and over 300 deaths to the second half, he finally beat Diamonds for Dashers, a level RevNotRuv would also beat later this week, reaching a peak rating on the platformer rank at 8. Our remaining notable completions include VoPlat beating the top 10 Waking Up Again, Lucas Glow fluking the last jetpack of I'm Happy for and both Wilgi Su and G2 on the auto-scroller Crime and Punishment. Also, make sure to check out Ibio's flashy tasks of Tendril Temple after the video. Make sure to subscribe because we're super close to 2,000 subscribers. Thank you for watching, and extra shoutouts to our channel members.